Change Starts With You, the United Way podcast. We are super excited to be here today with some of my good friends. I'm Kelly Jason, President and CEO, United Way Emerald Coast, and here with me today, I have the Maureen Bierman with Step One Automotive Group and the Dara Flanagan with Step One Automotive.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome to your first podcast with us.
We're so excited to be here.
I know. It's going to be fun. It's going to be an amazing 20 or so minutes. But for those who aren't yet familiar with you and your roles at Step One Automotive Group, will you tell us a little bit about your role and maybe just overall who Step One Automotive Group is today?
Sure. Well, I'm the marketing director for Step One Automotive Group. I've been with the company since the day it started 7 years ago. And we are an automotive group here in Northwest Florida and Southern Alabama. We have 13 locations, 16 award-winning brands, and really are so involved in the community. And it's such a big part of what we do here. We just love being in this community.
Awesome.
So
very good. And Dara?
Well, I am the corporate event manager, which means I wear many hats. And about 4 years ago, I talked Maureen into hiring me. She actually called me to tell me that I was overqualified, and I talked her into seeing me. And I do a lot of our community engagement, and I do a lot of outreach, and I do a lot of PR and external affairs, and pretty much anything that they need that's outside of the dealership, falls under my purview.
Yeah. You ladies are everywhere. You're some of those people that we see also at like every community event. I don't know where you get your energy and how many hours are in your day, because it must surely be more than the hours in my day with all that you're able to cram in. But we definitely just appreciate that and appreciate y'all again lending a little time to us today. I do want to back up for a moment. It is November, which is special for a few reasons. The first is that this is the 1 year anniversary of the launch of our podcast.
Amazing. That's so exciting.
We are very excited and very proud of that. And actually our very first episode, the very first episode that we recorded got lost or deleted by accident, which I think was One Shot Creations' way of being like, oh, we're not going to use that one, guys. You need a little bit of practice. So the first episode got lost. So the first one that we actually shared with the community was one that we did with Forever Warriors. And so this is
right.
fun.
I remember very well.
Yeah, just a full circle moment here as I knock down the microphone, bringing it back 1 year later, because a year ago we were starting kind of our relationship with Forever Warriors. We're like, we're not really sure where this is going to go and what we're going to be able to do together. But I'm excited for us to talk a little bit about where that partnership also exists before we dig more maybe into Step One Automotive Group. So November is National Veteran and Military Families Month.
Yes.
And we have this amazing now partnership with Forever Warriors for a year. And so, Maureen, is there anything really exciting that you would like to share with us about what we're doing?
It's so exciting. I mean, I'm thrilled. It's really been a whole combination of things that have happened over time. So we launched, Step One stood up Forever Warriors in 2023. As a private foundation dedicated to helping military transition to civilian life. And that could take the form of mental health treatment or traumatic brain injury recovery, or all sorts of things, career training, and even just learning how to access the resources that are out there, because a lot of, people struggle with that. So in the first 18 months, we gave back about $300,000 to the military community here in this area. At helping them with that transition. And then through a wonderful partnership with Representative Pat Mamie, and of course with the help of the entire Northwest Florida delegation, we were able to secure an additional $150,000 in state funding this year. That we are currently in the process of giving out as grants. And so that's already been, some of it's already been passed out to organizations like the Honor Foundation that do an 8-week career training seminar to help special operators, learn how to write a resume and interview and all those sorts of skills. The EOD Warrior Foundation is another one that we just started to partner with. The Fisher House that has a program for people suffering with traumatic brain injury. So all sorts of things that have, make a wonderful impact on the community. And we're so excited to be part of that. But then there is another layer. Step One, so impressed with all the work that people do in this community for the military and veterans. made the commitment to match that $150,000 in state funding, dollar for dollar, and donate an additional $150,000.
Okay, that is
Like
breaking
insert
news.
applause here.
Right, breaking news because I did not know that. That's incredible.
Now,
Oh my gosh. I'm telling you guys.
that's the thing I needed to talk to you about.
It's happening so fast, right?
Absolutely. Well, I've been on the road with
Yeah.
the Drive Out Breast Cancer
Yeah.
Jeep, so I have not been in the office as much to
Yeah.
be right in the know of everything,
Right.
and that is the most exciting
Isn't that
thing.
the most exciting thing?
Yeah.
I'm so thrilled.
You guys, if
I'm
you
so
knew how much
thrilled.
effort that this company puts into supporting its
Mm-hmm.
community
Absolutely.
and the military community and what their dedication looks like from the top
Right.
to the bottom, they don't just say it, they live it every day.
That's right.
And it takes 10 minutes of being in a room with any of the board of directors
Mhm.
to know how serious
Mhm.
they are about giving back. And I think people don't always understand that, but things like this come from the top.
Sure.
It's not me,
Mhm.
it's not anybody else.
Right.
This is the very tip
That's
top
absolutely
owners of the
true.
company that believe in this so strongly. And then they give people like me the opportunity to go out and share the love
Right.
in a way that's
Absolutely.
truly transformational for our communities.
Mhm.
And not every organization works that way.
Absolutely.
And it's not all about selling cars and
Mhm.
servicing cars.
Mhm.
It's really about our community and
Yeah.
giving people not just through donating money, but helping them access mobility
Right.
and things of that nature that maybe they don't. I had a guy tell me yesterday, and I have to tell you this. He said, I work 4 times as hard on a deal for a single mother with 4
Mm.
kids and that doesn't have the greatest credit
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that she leaves here with a vehicle than I do on the person who comes in
Right.
and pays cash for a $100,000 car.
Absolutely.
And I was like, that is exactly how our company works and how it
It is.
operates.
And that's our mission statement, essentially, providing mobility solutions, but also leaving a legacy in the communities we serve.
Mm-hmm.
And to just add on to that, I have to give and he's going to be mad at me for doing this, but I have to give a shout out to JC Correa,
Mhm.
our
Yes.
CEO, because he's the one who made that
Right.
happen.
Right.
I didn't come in there with some 15 slide pitch
Yeah.
deck. That's something he came to me with. So, it's really special that they're willing to make that kind of commitment.
Mm-hmm.
And really leave a lasting impact.
Absolutely.
And also in honor of Pat Maney and the work he's done with veterans, especially on the
Absolutely,
mental
yeah.
health side. We're really going to try to devote a lot of that money to veterans
Mhm.
seeking mental health treatment and other, serious injuries that are impacting their quality of life.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah, it's amazing. It's so many partners have a hand in this, and I think that's what's really cool about organizations that choose that collaboration over competition. Right? We can go so much farther when we do things
Yes.
together. And so United Way is really proud to be able to play a small role in helping you all kind of vet some organizations and guide them through an application process. And
oh yes, you've been a big help.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I think that's why our company in general has gravitated towards the United Way Emerald Coast, is because you do come from a place of collaboration
Mhm.
and what's the
Mhm.
best for the most people and how
Right.
can we involve the most people to make the biggest impact. And I think that that's been really,
Mhm.
really important for us
absolutely.
in choosing who we decide to
Mhm.
align this sort of thing
Mhm.
with.
But we are accepting applications then for
Mhm.
cohort number 2.
Yes.
Which are organizations that would be funded through January through March of 2025.
right.
So we'll link the website in the comments below and hope that
Yes,
organizations that think that they
please.
align,
Right.
get your applications in, tell us about what you're doing
Mhm.
so that Forever Warriors can figure out, make those tough
Absolutely.
decisions of where's it going to go.
Absolutely. And, honestly, the goal for us with Forever Warriors was to always support the organizations on the ground who are already doing the work.
Mhm.
We're not here to reinvent the wheel. You guys are the experts because most of you have gone through it,
Mhm.
and so we want you to continue doing the work that you're doing. And our role is to help fund it
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
to help guide and to help, the process along. But certainly there are so many great organizations in this area that are doing that work
Yeah.
already.
I love it. Love it. So thank you. Thank you again. That's very
Mhm.
exciting. What overall, what impacts do you really hope to see from these investments here in our community?
Well,
How are
really,
you going to measure, that success?
really the impact we can make to veterans and how the quality of their life, that's what it comes down to. I had the opportunity to go see Veterans Court, which was something that Pat Maney started. It's a judicial diversion program that keeps veterans out of the system, veterans who are getting in trouble with DUIs, not just veterans, first responders as well, dealing with the stress of those kinds of occupations and coming out of the military. And so Judge Angela Mason runs it now, of course, that he's no longer on the bench. And they've helped thousands and thousands of veterans, with that program. And I was so impressed seeing the impact it's making on their lives.
Right.
So instead of being in jail with a DUI, they're going through this program. They're getting treatment for their PTSD or their substance abuse issue.
The real rehabilitation.
Exactly. They're able to keep their job and keep their family together. That's the impact. Actual on the ground, boots on the ground, affecting people's lives.
Right.
And honestly, that's why I get up in the morning.
Yeah.
It really
can't
is.
help you to be fired up for those sort of
Exactly.
things, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
Coolest jobs around.
The best jobs in the company by far. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Love it. So both of you have served and currently serve on our board of directors, which we love. So would love to know just a little more about your personal involvements with kind of volunteerism here in the community. I serve also alongside you on the Fort Walton Beach Chamber and know that you've got hands in many different things. So tell us a little bit about just volunteering here in the community.
Well, I've been on several boards, the Emerald Coast Association, of course, the United Way of the Emerald Coast, the Greater Fort Walton Beach Chamber of Commerce. I try to get involved as much as I can with those things and, be part of the programs they're putting together and the events. I wish I had more time to do more.
For sure.
Because I see people in our community, their level of volunteerism is just through the roof. It's so impressive. But certainly it's something that's an important part of my life because it makes you feel good about what you do and about what you're able to give back.
Right.
So I have a little bit different experience with it because it's literally my job to go out and be at these events and meet the people and help with what's going on and whether it's helping pack meals with Dade High School or it's, doing the kit builds with you guys or, even if it's a check presentation or something, I'm the one that gets to go out and see the smiles on people's faces and see the tears and the thanks and the all of those things. So I kind of live a life in that community, right? So that I spend most of my time engrossed in the nonprofit sector, and I hate that, not everyone in our company gets to do that like I do because I think it's really important for people, and Maureen does it very often, and we try as much as possible to get our leadership and our people involved, our teammates involved in this stuff as much as possible, and it's just really amazing to see the work that's being done, to be part of the work that's being done, to really be able to see in real time the impact that Step 1 Automotive Group and Forever Warriors are making in the entire Panhandle and up into Alabama, where we do it in Alabama too.
Right.
Yep.
Because it's from Perdido Key to Panama City is where our reach is for our markets.
Broad.
And we work with over 100 nonprofits. Actively.
Yeah, 60, I can
actively
imagine.
we work.
You know that's
it's
a
a
lot.
lot of
And
relationships
so,
to balance.
and different months bring
Yeah.
different focuses.
Sure.
And so, we have just great relationships and the fact that we're able to interact with the nonprofits, with the foundations, with the people that they're serving, see what services there are to offer. I don't know about you, but I know whenever I encounter someone in need and they know who I am, they say, I know you know where to go.
Right.
So we serve as
Have those
like
relationships.
we're not as good as 211 maybe, but
We got a pretty
we
big
can usually
Rolodex,
put them in contact with whoever they would best suit them or someone who knows somebody. And so that's a really special part of our job where we really get to make an impact just based on what we get to do every day, just by helping the person across the street with their grandma.
I'm sure it happens all the time because, as nonprofits see you getting so involved, nonprofits are probably reaching out to you every day saying, hey, we've got this going on. How do you really choose or prioritize which organizations you all are supporting? Because like us, there's just simply not enough time sometimes to go around to all of them. So how do you narrow that down?
Well, we have certain core areas that we focus on. Of course, one's the military, which we've already discussed. Then the other main one is children and education. We feel that's a really important place for us to focus a lot of our attention. So we're very involved in literacy and empowerment programs for young people, making sure they're getting the educational support they need, making sure they're getting the emotional support they need.
Making sure they get the supplies that they need to be successful.
Even, right, just as simple as that, making sure they get the supplies that they need. And then also we focus on wellness. And for us, wellness really just means quality of life again. And so that's kind of how we try to pick, you know, where to invest the money. And we feel, again, that's going to have the best impact and the biggest long-term impact on individuals.
Awesome. One of the things I thought has been really cool, especially with you, Dara, is, you know, you came to us and you said, I get to be out in the community. This is my job, and I want my teammates to experience this as well. And so we tried to work with you, be like, what can we do to break down that barrier? Not everybody's going to be able to leave a dealership. And so talk a little bit about kind of the relationship that we've built. And I'm so impressed by your teammates and the kit builds. Like, what does that mean? Your support of the school supply drive and how you're rallying your team to be able to do things there, you know, at their dealership or in their office, and not having to always go somewhere else, which can be prohibitive.
Right, because I mean, obviously our stores are open 6 days a week, and so if there's a day of volunteerism, you know, it's you know, the retail market, you can't shut down. We're open, you know, the day after Thanksgiving, all of those things. So, you know, when it comes to your day of caring, I've been at other places that were able to shut down, be able to go and work on a project somewhere else.
Right.
You know, and so when we can't do that, but then I'm the only one out there getting to have all the fun and see the impact that their hard work is making possible. Because without them there all the day, every day, you know, working with the customers, doing all that, then there's nothing to give to the community, right? So I think it's important that they see what they're doing.
Right.
Right. And then the minute that they start it, they get so excited about it. And then they say, when can we do it again? That was great. Can we do it? And every single person in the store will come out. You guys are lovely. You bring out the supplies. We set them up on a couple of tables in the showroom. Everyone that works there comes in, stops what they're doing for 5 or 10 minutes, goes through, makes as many kits as they can make in that short time, and then they go back, and then somebody else comes. And they can do it throughout the day when they have a break, when they're on lunch, if they don't have a customer right then, you know, and we get 500 kits made in like an hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes. Because everybody gets involved. And then when it comes to school supplies, you know, these guys, a lot of them are very fortunate, and they really understand, you know, that there are people who are hurting. And so, you know, like whenever we do anything with a school supply, you can always count on them to go out. And they're like, hey, we just got in 360 pieces. We have, you know, 45 backpacks that are all filled with 20 things. You know, when are you going to come get them? We're so excited. Or can we deliver them? Can we throw them in the car? Our Niceville team, they brought in like 3 truckloads, you know, of stuff that day.
There's only about 5
and there's
of them
only
in the
5
store.
of them there. And then, you know, that they were so excited, and they came and they were able to hang out for about 15 minutes and meet the other nonprofits and meet the people. And, and so that's why it's, you know, it's really important for them to see the impact that they are making. You know, I'm just a conduit. They're the ones that are making the impact.
So bringing those opportunities in the store where they can volunteer, but they're doing it inside the store is really the perfect arrangement. So we do it with the back to school supply drive. We do it, we'll start that again right after Thanksgiving, the 25 days of giving for Christmas. Each of our stores adopts a different charity that they want to partner with, and they collect Christmas gifts or whatever it might be, supplies for dogs, you know, whatever they decide. But they're doing everything in the stores because we just can't take them out, but they're still able to participate. And honestly, all of our community outreach is driven by the passion and commitment of our employees and what's important to them, what they care about, what they want to focus on.
I love
and
that.
we just make that available to them.
You probably get a little more buy-in, right? If it's something that they can relate to, or they
take ownership of it. They take ownership of it. I mean, we do every month. We do pet adoption events at Subaru, and they adopt out 12 or 14 animals every month.
Every month, which is amazing. I mean, it really is. That's a big impact.
So we just love being part of all that.
Yeah.
And that's run completely by our the staff there and the team at Subaru. Like I don't do anything for them. They're like, we got it.
Yeah.
And I'm
Get
like,
out of our
okay,
way.
I will
This
go
is our
do something.
show.
I will I will go make an impact over here then.
Yeah.
If you know, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
What has been maybe your favorite volunteer activity or just thing that you have done to support the community? What's been the most meaningful or impactful or favorite, however you want to define that?
Gosh.
I know, on the spot.
Honestly, this was not a huge ask for us. This was something very small. I'm going to try not to get emotional about it. But we took to a school in Pensacola, Title I school, we sent them 500 granola bars.
Okay.
Because they have 30 homeless families there. And that's hard enough for them to get to school, let alone get a good breakfast or anything. And all they asked for was 500 granola bars to get them through the year so that when these kids come in, they have something to eat for breakfast. See, I'm getting emotional for it because, I mean, how do you not? But that's such a huge impact for those kids so that they're not hungry and they can actually, and the same school we went to the school fair, book fair, and we bought every single kid a book.
That's amazing.
Right? And
something that a lot of families just take for granted, right?
Yeah,
you don't
and
think about there's
a lot
another
of them,
child that's not going to be able to do that.
That was the first book they'd ever been able to take home.
I love
I mean, if that doesn't get you in your feels,
Yeah.
what will?
Come on.
Yeah.
You know?
Honestly, I couldn't even pick one. There have been so many emotional moments, from giving a car away to a young woman who was a single mother
Such a
who
great moment.
had a great job, but she couldn't get to the job. And, this just turned her life around. I mean, there's been so many of those moments where you see that impact you make. You're like, wow, we're definitely on the right track.
Right.
you know?
I love it. Definitely appreciate what you all do and get maybe a unique opportunity to really witness your generosity. And it comes from a real special place of caring about others. And that's genuine and it's really palpable from your team. So, not every workplace or organization thinks they have the resources, whether that's the manpower, the time, the money to make a difference. And do you have any words to encourage maybe another business that is thinking about getting involved, but they don't for some reason?
Sure.
So I would say start small
Yeah.
and follow your employees. Find out what's important to them. Start small. Don't try to take over the world.
Right.
They could partner on a kit build. Which just something small, some small project, but follow their lead and see what is important to them, and just build from there.
Love it.
Yeah, I think I would say you don't have to spend $1 million to make a huge impact. I think that, if you are a firm that has great graphic designers, nonprofits are always looking
Oh my gosh,
for.
all the time.
There's so much in kind that you can do and make a huge impact. Because I don't think that a lot of people really, unless you've been in the world of nonprofits, understand that you've got people who are wearing 75 hats. Even sometimes, even in my job, I'm like, if somebody could just come in and make a few spreadsheet templates for me, my life would change. And that's really, but even in the nonprofit level, that's huge
It is.
to have somebody come in and help you kind of organize your customer data, your database, and your, what you need to do, or, somebody that can come in and take 5 loads of laundry from, an animal adoption center and come bring back clean laundry. That's huge because everybody's working on a skeleton staff. Everybody's there because they love to be. Not everybody is an expert, especially when it comes to finances, strategic planning, interacting with the government. If that's something that you have an ability to do, or if that's your niche, donating an hour or two a week could change the trajectory of that nonprofit.
Absolutely.
And people don't think about that stuff, but that's the stuff that's easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let
Share
them
your
set up in your
talents.
parking lot. Let them set up in your parking lot one time a month and just spread the word.
Right.
Even if it's, it doesn't matter what charity you're into. Let them set up in your parking lot. Let them come to your Christmas party and talk to your people. You don't have to do a lot of work to make a really big impact. And I think people don't necessarily think that. They think they need to have this huge budget. And, Gray's Craze donated to the American Legion for an event they were having, and they just literally brought a charcuterie tray, and it changed the entire event.
Yeah.
It really did. It
bet.
made a huge impact. you know, and it made people come back, and it made people think, you know, wow, this is really great. And it got, you know, it was just really nice. And it's this very small thing, but it can do such big things for that organization.
There's just some great examples and ideas for other workplaces or groups and ways that they can get involved. You know, if you're like, well, that sounds fun, but I don't know what nonprofit needs me, contact United Way. If it's not us, we have 60 other nonprofits that we would love to connect people to. Our whole goal is just, we want them to find that nonprofit that really fills their tank, right? And we recognize that might not be United Way for everybody, and we're okay with that. We just want them to have the best experience possible, because that's what's going to motivate them to keep doing it for our community.
Well, and they can trust anybody that you are going to, you know, they can trust, because the United Way has such a wonderful vetting process, right? That we don't have to check and see if these guys are legitimate, if their finances are in order, because you've done that already.
Right, it makes a big difference.
And so if you go with someone who is a United Way partner, you can always rest easy knowing that your money is going to go where it needs to go.
Yeah, love it. All right, ladies, as we wrap up our time.
Oh,
I know, it goes so fast.
It went so fast. That's all right.
Any
Thank you
final
for having
words?
us.
Absolutely. Anything that we didn't get to discuss that you want to use the next minute or so to fill in and to make sure everybody's aware of?
No, I think I covered it. I really wanted to talk about Forever Warriors today, so I'm glad I got to mention that. I would just say stay engaged in your community. This is a wonderful community. Not every place is like this. People may not realize it, but there's something really special here in this area in Okaloosa County and Walton County. And I would just say stay engaged, be part of what's going on, because you'll find that it brings you a lot more satisfaction than you could have ever imagined.
Right. Love that.
Yeah, I think I would echo that. I think, you know, the big takeaway for me always is it doesn't take a lot to make a big impact, and start small, start with something small and build from there. And, you know, we're very fortunate to be able to do the kind of work that we do. And, you know, we're very grateful that we have the opportunity to, you know, really impact the nonprofits that are working and thereby impact our community. And, you know, you just can't ask for more than that.
Right. I know y'all cover a big geography, a big footprint, and I know that you're so involved in each of those areas. And so thank you for what you do. For United Way Emerald Coast, our partnership makes me really proud, and just the way that you all dig in and trust us and get involved with us and so many others is really inspiring. It makes my job easier. So thank you for what you do. It's always, you know, you can count on it's going to be fun if it's done in partnership with Step One Automotive Group or Forever Warriors. And that is a fact. You're going to have a good time no matter what it is that you're doing. So thank you for all you do with us.
This was fun.
Yeah. We really appreciate it.
We'll save the date for November 2025. You'll come back, and this will be our annual thing that we do.
And maybe there'll be a sign out front by then.
Maybe.
Inside joke. Inside joke.
Yeah.
Thank you, Maureen. Thank you, Dara. We appreciate you. And thank you for tuning in.